It's really cool now that it's going to be obviously released to the public and they'll be able to be a part of that, but it also has that added on meaning where it will go to helping people. I'm Alex Chidiac, currently play for the national team and about to head into a World Cup, I guess. So, geez, that's a loaded question to begin with. Who am I? Gosh, no, I mean, I guess I think I'm just I feel like a bit of a kid, to be honest. Kind of got that kid heart where I just look for that enjoyment in little things every day, and you know, a lot of my enjoyment comes with football. So, you know, even though I'm a professional, I like to always draw back into, you know, why I started playing and just for the fun of it and having a laugh and joke around. And you know, I know when to take it seriously, but I also, yeah, I'm just a massive fan of the game. So football is a really big part of who I am and, you know, what it's brought me to and my little community that I've built around it. And yeah, I think I'm just a culmination of all of those things that I've kind of been on a journey with through football. Like I don't think I am me without football. So yeah. Like as a kid, definitely had a lot of little hobbies. I mean, I just loved building things, being creative. You know, I had a whole bunch of stuffed animals that were like my little family as well. So I think people say you always grow out of that, but I never seemed to grow out of it. I like to be super creative, and I think these little things that I've been interested in and that are kind of little quirks to me of, you know, things that keep me centered and grounded as well, and you know, keep me creative, which is really cool. I mean, I think the impact this World Cup can have, I mean, we don't know for sure, but what it's already been doing, the whole build up to it, the investment that's gone into the women's game over these years to now host the World Cup, you know, it's only going to flow on with all the excitement that we're going to have some of the best players in the world, not just us as the Matildas, but some of the best players in the world coming here to play right in front of our faces. You know, we're going to gain a lot of respect from people that, you know, think that we shouldn't be playing, we should be in the kitchen or something like that, or the same things that you hear all the time. But you know, we're going to be visible to so many, you know, young boys and girls all around Australia. They're going to be able to look back on this as a moment in history of, you know, this is why I wanted to start playing football. I think it's pretty special to be part of that. So I feel like, you know, this team, us now, we're going to create a legacy, and you know, this World Cup is going to be remembered for, yeah, decades. Starting out just being a football fan, I think you always dream of going to a World Cup. I always thought I was going to go to a men's World Cup. I didn't know there was a women's World Cup at the time. You know, that was always something to look to, and in the background think, wow, it's actually a dream that I can make happen. And you know, I never really set out to just do that. I wanted to, you know, play around the world, and I've achieved like lots of mini dreams along the way, but you know, a home World Cup, nothing beats that. Let's be real. Yeah, I mean, another like thing that I love doing outside of football is going out and volunteering where I can. I learned that from my grandma at a pretty young age. You know, she migrated here from Poland and was always really heavily involved in the community. I think I just got exposed to so much more and a whole different side of the community and what she gave back. And yeah, I had an interview today where I was actually speaking about, you know, when she passed away, the impact that she had on, you know, everybody that showed up. It was really special for me to see what she meant to the community in Adelaide, the little Polish community that there was. There were so many people that showed up, and they kept telling me stories and kept saying how much of an amazing woman she was and the impact that she had on people and how much she helped. And I definitely felt that growing up, the amount of love that she gave me, but I didn't realise how much she gave to others. And you know, that there's definitely time to do that, and that kind of made me click into gear with all the extra time that I do have. It's actually become way more rewarding for me than I think it is for anybody else. We're all equal at the end of the day, and it shows people that doesn't matter where you come from, you know, this sport can bring people together in such a special and unique way. And yeah, I'm really lucky to be right at the top at the moment and about to go to a World Cup. But you know, my favourite moments are when I get to go out and volunteer with people and just kick the ball around and have fun and connect with people on a human level. The street soccer program, I got involved with them first of all through George, who was working at Melbourne City at the time. I think I had an appearance one day with a couple of teammates, and I got to go out and play walking soccer for the first time. And there were a couple of participants that stood out that are still in the program today. But I think, yeah, Helen is one of them. I think she was maybe 70 at the time.
My name's Emma. I'm the coach here at the women's program for the Big Issue Community Street Soccer program, and I've been doing it for about, I think, nearly 2 years now. It's been great. Sport is more than just about exercise. Having a team and having a kind of community and something that you can go to every week for these women is just something that's changed some of their lives.
Yeah, I've gone back quite, frequently whenever I can over the years in between being overseas. But yeah, I've been, I guess, volunteering for at least 3 years straight.
Some of these women have been coming for the past 12 to 14 years, and it's the one thing that's stable in their life and that they can depend on, and they can come here and be welcome, see friends, have a chat, let us know anything that's going on, and then we can help refer them to further services if they need it. So it's just having that consistency, but also getting outside in amongst people. It can really change people's lives.
Getting to meet the women who it's going to impact, that's a really unique thing that, I don't get to do very often. And, I'm hoping that, this shirt gets to make an impact on their lives. I've had so many people be like, what's MUMA? I'm like, guys, clearly, this is where we're going to set it straight right here. So with the crest, I've got a toy penguin that's pretty much like the leader of all my other toys that I have. She looks after all of us. But yeah, I got given that by my parents when I was born, so I had this massive penguin next to me. She's traveled with me everywhere that I've gone. It's obviously very close to home. Reminds me of, my mum massively, and what a massive support that she is. And recently I got to give my mum a little penguin, so it was kind of representing me while I was away too, which is special. But it's not only just a stuffed animal to me, it just means, that comfort, that safety, that home that I've always had. And, that's what a crest should be, something that means something to you. And, as footballers, you play for the crest, and that's, something that's super meaningful to me. The T, try not to cry with this one. Growing up, my parents were working full time, so I spent a lot of time at my grandma's house, and she introduced me to tea probably at too young of an age. It's always something when I couldn't sleep, she would give me a cup of tea, which always soothed me. And as I got a little bit older, it became, we'd have tea time together, and it was when we would just sit. She would have baked, I think, 4 different cakes that day. We'd have like a little tasting platter of all of the cakes with a cup of tea, and that's when we really get to catch up. Every afternoon, that was what we did, and it was our little tradition. Everyone around me understands that. Even the national team now have twinings. So accept and move, that little phrase is something that I've only adopted more recently, accepted to adopt. I think it's something that I've kind of had to embody forcefully over my career. Whether it be not making a team, not making a World Cup or an Olympics, or, not starting on that day. I always fought against it and kind of tried to make sense of things, and sometimes there's just nothing to make sense of. You kind of have your little dreams just burst in front of your face, and it's not what you really hoped it to be. But I think that's also reality. And yes, I would have loved to have been an absolute beast at Atletico, or winning a trophy in Japan, or whatever that may be. But over the years, I've learned to accept those for what that was, and maybe it wasn't my time yet, and my time was coming, and I had to accept them and move on. I was kicking a ball against the wall in Japan, trying to sort my life out. It was another stage where I wasn't playing. I was looking at the brick wall, and I'd listened to a podcast earlier that day about, you just got to take things one day at a time, but one brick at a time. That's how walls are built. But I got my little Lego brick tattoo of hey, I'm just going to take it one brick at a time. So it was cool to just refer that back to Lego and kind of see that now of, one piece of Lego by itself, it can hurt if you step on it. But then you can build it into something pretty amazing, and that's, something that I'm trying to do each day, is just continue to build my life up in some way. The red and blue, most of the teams I've played for have either been red or blue, with Adelaide United, Victory, and then, you got Homie sponsoring it, which is friggin' awesome. One of my favourite brands since I found out about them. So it's a really special shirt, definitely one I'm going to be wearing a hell of a lot. My first match back with the national team after 3 years, I was wearing number 22, but that kind of belonged to somebody else, and they were out injured at the time, and I wanted to have something that kind of felt like mine a little bit. So I asked for 27 for the next tournament, and that kind of has carried me all the way through up until this point. And getting to, kind of wear that was kind of like my little comeback number. The shirt really does represent me well. The people that are closest to me will see that and be like, yeah, that's definitely her. It's really cool now that it's going to be obviously released to the public, and they'll be able to be a part of that. But it also has that added on meaning where it will go to helping people as part of the Big Issue program, and hopefully give exposure to what they're doing there, and encourage more women to join that program, and know it's a really safe and inclusive program, and there are people there that, you know, love them and will care for them, and you know, that's why there are so many that come back week in, week out.
A boost in funding would just help us reach more people. That's the ultimate aim of this program, is to support as many vulnerable people in our communities as possible. It would help with equipment and gear and just resources, but mainly we want to reach more people. We want to see people out and about and healthy and socialising.
Yeah, it's something that means a lot to me, but you know, the impact would mean a hell of a lot more, I think, to see that program grow, and hopefully, you know, those women will get to experience the World Cup as well. If you guys want the kit, I mean, there's going to be a link. It's going to go on pre-sale. It's going to have a massive impact on the Big Issue program, and you know, share it around. Even if you don't want to get the kit, that's cool, but just share it around to people and see who might be interested to coming out to the program, because that's the whole point of the kit. You know, just to get more people involved, to play football, to feel safe and included, and you know, it's my way of giving back to what the game's given to me. So get on it, guys.